Hey, what's going on, guys? Ryan here from Indy Wrestling School, and what's the most important things you need to know about locker room etiquette? Coming up. Hey, what's going on, guys? Thanks for checking out this channel. We used to put out videos every single Thursday for 3 Minute Thursday. I got away from that for a little bit. We were focused on running some shows, and we wanted to put our entire attention to those shows. So you can expect new videos every single Thursday. We're back on our schedule. Now, every locker room, especially on the independents, is totally different. Everybody's got their own specific rules. So all I can really tell you is what I consider my rules, or the way I like to run a locker room. For me personally, the most important thing is fun. I need to have an entire locker room full of people who want to be there, who love professional wrestling, and only want to be there. I don't want a bunch of guys who are on their phones wishing they were somewhere else, or just having a miserable time, looking miserable, because that translates. The audience notices that. You know, even if you can step it up when you're in the ring and look like you're having a great time, if you're moping around, not only backstage, but when you're walking around during intermission, fans notice that, they pick that up, and I just don't want that kind of negativity anywhere near my shows. Secondly, it's probably the most obvious rule that every single person out there probably already knows. When you get to a show, you're supposed to go up and introduce yourself to everybody, or say hello to everybody, and usually that's done by shaking their hands, look them in the eye. I think it's important not to be focused on other stuff. You gotta be present in the moment. So if you go to shake somebody's hand, but you're kind of on the phone doing something else, like, hey, how you doing? Hey, what's going on? That's probably not the best way to greet somebody. So it's important to just kind of be there, be present, be in the moment. It's my opinion that no matter where you are on the card, you should go up and introduce yourself to everybody. Whether it's the ring announcer, the referee, people on the staff, you should make an effort to introduce yourself and meet all the people there, because everybody's there to put on the best show possible, and nobody's more important than anybody else. Same thing goes when you leave. You're supposed to say goodbye to everybody and thank everybody and do all that, and I think that's kind of an obvious rule, but it's worth pointing out here just in case there's somebody out there who doesn't know about it. Another important rule that I always like, and it's not necessarily a rule, but I think it's important for every single person in the locker room to stay the entire length of the show. I hate when people leave during intermission. And the reason I hate that is because the people in the ring are performing just as much for the boys in the back or the girls in the back as they are for the crowd that paid to see them. And I know that sounds like a weird concept, but everybody in the ring is looking for the approval not just of the fans, but of their peers. So then you do your match, you're able to get feedback from your peers and from the fans, and then you leave. If everybody does that, that means the person who's going out there has a very limited selection of their peers that they can get feedback from. So if everybody leaves during intermission or right after their match, you have a pretty empty locker room for the main event, and how are you supposed to improve if you're not getting feedback constantly? And just as important as not leaving early is being there on time. The last thing in the world a promoter wants to do is wonder where the hell you are when there's an hour to go before the doors open. At the end of the day, locker room etiquette can be a messy thing, it can be a nasty thing, but ultimately it boils down to what I said earlier. The most important thing is to have fun. Have fun, be safe, and enjoy yourself. Look, all pro wrestlers have a finite number of years. You're only gonna be in the ring for so long, so enjoy it. And realize that these matches and these shows, they're not gonna go on forever, as much as we all want them to. Eventually, everybody's bump card runs out. So that's all I got for you this week. If you like this video, please consider subscribing below, and we'll see you next Thursday.